Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a weekly reading vlog that I'm pre-filming the intro for. So I think I know when this vlog is going to go up, but I don't want to give it a number just in case I mix things around. I have a space in my TBR, hopefully, for a Larry the TBR Llama pick. So I wanted to come in, plan this out first, see if I can rearrange any of my TBR and make it more doable. But we're going to be picking a prompt. So what am I going to read in this vlog? I'm just moving them all around. Let's go right to the bottom. Okay, I can just see a PH. So unless someone called Phoebe left a prompt, let's find out. This isn't focusing. I can't read it upside down. I can't read this. Physical TBR comments. Oh, that's so exciting. So what I need to do is go on to my full TBR, pick out some random comments, and any books mentioned in that comment will be the ones I read. I'm going to put this back in the jar because that's a really good one to reuse. So back in the jar, and let's get to filming, shall we? Okay, so here's a view of my very messy desk. We'll just work with it. I'm going to screen record. I just need to remember how to do that. Okay, so I believe I'm recording my screen now. I'm going to put it up here so it's a little bit clearer. But what we need to do is go to my YouTube and find my entire Physical TBR video, which is this one, the 2023 update. So I'm going to get the link and then paste it into this website. So let's do this. I'm scared. Okay, there are 37 comments. Okay, get to YouTube comments. Start. Over here. Okay, so it's over here. Let me make this. Oh, the winner is Lauren. But what's her comment? Oh, okay, this makes sense. This has been the worst screen record I've ever done in my life, but if you can see that, hopefully you can. Hopefully I've edited this well. This is Lauren's comment, which says, read The Princess and the Fangirl, and of course any Jacqueline Wilson books. So that's what we're gonna do for this week. Exciting, let me go and pick those. This is an angle you definitely don't see. I recently reorganized my bookshelves by height, and I had to try and find and remember how tall The Princess and the Fangirl was. I wanted to read this months ago, didn't do it, so now is the perfect shot. We have The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston as book 1 on this TBR. So then, Jacqueline Wilson books, I have a whole stack. I don't have that many left actually. So there are a few different, there's one over there I want to grab. These are my available books. So I'm gonna go for Girls in Tears, which I've just dropped all the books. Girls in Tears, which is the second book in the Girls in Love series. And then it's between Lily Alone, Lola Rose, and Longest Whale Song. I'm gonna go for Lola Rose. I remember loving this one. And then we came over to my overflow shelves because I'm also gonna try and read Candy Floss. So I have picked 3 Jacqueline Wilson books, but they, you know, in all fairness, I've got books on my TBR that are just one of these. Like 3 books equals the size of one normal book. So this is my TBR for the week. Let's see how I get on. So hello, this is really weird because I don't need to form a proper intro because that's already been done. But we are now here at the time of the weekly reading vlog. It is Monday the 20 something. I don't actually know what date it is. I'm working at home. I thought I'd just drop in and give you a quick reading update. So I have the audiobook of Girls Out Late from my library app, which I'm already 194 pages into. So I decided to pick these up. I think I said in the original intro that the next one I had to read was Girls in Tears. It turns out the next one I wanted was Girls Under Pressure, but I read that last week. I'm going to read this one this morning and then I can finally read Girls in Tears. And that's kind of good that I've skipped a book because I've also got a bit of a hangover of The Bride Test by Helen Huang, which I have 100 pages left of, and I want to get this finished tonight. So I know you just saw it, but for my own brain, let me pop back to my TBR shelf. Wow, it's really dark over here. Okay, so I can't actually get the audiobook of Girls in Tears. That is currently taken out of my library, so I'm not going to be able to get to that one via audio. I'm gonna have to wait until I have the physical time to read it, which I'm sure will happen. Obviously, The Princess and the Fangirl, I've been looking around on audiobook apps and I think I might have found it. I seem to keep like finding and forgetting, but I do need to pick up that one. And then we have Candy Floss and Lola Rose. So hopeful TBR, we will see. We'll see what I manage to do. If I somehow manage to finish all of that TBR, which I'm really not sure, I don't know what I've got planned for this weekend, so I might have time. I do still have 3 books I was going to read this month, which I haven't picked up yet, so those are potentials. But I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty good reading week. It feels like a good content week already, and we're getting closer and closer to the announcement for the Vampire Diaries readathon. That will be coming very soon by the time you see this video. It might even be this week. So that is very exciting. It's definitely set up as a pre-scheduled premiere on my channel, so make sure you go to that and hit the notifications button so that you definitely join us. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say to start off this vlog. I've probably been talking for too long. Hope you enjoy whatever chaos happens this week. Hello, hello. So it's probably time for an update. It is Wednesday. I am working at home and I have updates on 3 books to give you. I was gonna update you yesterday and I literally went to the gym, came home and felt like an utterly broken human. So I stopped it there, but not that I look any better today. I felt like it's probably time. I forgot who it is. There's somebody who comments who loves the Keith Urban shirt. So the Keith Urban shirt is back out. I have finished 3 books since I last updated you. I don't remember what the last thing is I said, so apologies if I talk over myself. But the first one I finished was Girls Out Late by Jacqueline Wilson. So this is book 3 in the Girls series. And we're following Ellie, Magda and Nadine. In this one, they're kind of rebelling against, particularly Ellie, being a teenager and being told that you can't go out late. They often go shopping to like the shopping centre together, go to McDonald's, but one night Ellie is intercepted by a young boy and she is late home. That then motivates her to question all of the rules that her parents have put on her, but she is like a 13, 14-year-old girl. So I actually gave this one 3 stars, I believe. Yeah, I just went back and checked my notes. I gave it 3 stars. I did feel like the situations here did not match the age of the characters, and I feel like that is the problem with this series, at least for me, is that it's told too old for middle grade but seemingly too young for YA. So we've got girls who are getting their first boyfriends, and there are lots of talks in this one about more adult topics like sex and alcohol, which just isn't something you normally come across in the detail of them doing it in obviously a middle grade. And it's like that's an older YA theme, but the characters are still like very young teenagers, so it does clash a little bit in my brain for what age this is meant for, who should enjoy it. I do like the overall story. I think it's very useful. There were things in the last book that I read last week about eating disorders that I don't know if they were addressed the right way, but I'm glad they were represented. This one is more kind of back to the themes of book 1, where we're talking about expectations of teenage boys in particular, and I feel like it is really useful for a teenager to read. But if I would have read this around the age where I think I needed it, at about 15, then I would have been too old for the characters, if that makes sense. So not quite sure on this one. 3 stars. I am going to read Girls in Tears this week as well, probably tomorrow, but I feel like I've kind of fallen out of love with this series. I wanted to have it and reread it because Jacqueline Wilson at Yauch said that she was potentially going to do, if any spin-off book from a previous series, would look at revisiting the girls from this series. But I think I have decided that it's not lived up to the past expectation, which obviously you guys would have seen if you saw my Jacqueline Wilson vlog. That kind of happens. So yeah, not the biggest fan of this one. But 3 stars, it's still like a good book. Then the next one I finished was The Bride Test by Helen Huang. So I think I finished this one on Monday too, actually. Yeah, I think I did. So this is the second book. Why is that? Okay, I've broken the spine slightly. This is the second book in the Kiss Quotient series. I have annotated and tabbed the entire thing. And the first time I read these books, I preferred this one to the Kiss Quotient. Sadly, I didn't this time. I've given it 4.5 stars, so still a very, very good romance. I was considering 4 stars, but it felt better than that, but I know it's not a 5-star, if that makes sense. So I've read this for the Kiss Quotient read along that I'm doing with some lovely creators. I don't know if By the time this video goes up, the live show link would have been created. I think so. If it has, I will pop it down in the description. If not, I will confirm the date and time for you in the description. So please do join me there to hear my thoughts on this one. And then about 5 minutes ago, I finished Lola Rose by Jacqueline Wilson. So obviously, actually sticking to the theme of this vlog, I'm reading Jacqueline Wilson's, and Lola Rose has got a 4-star from me. I really liked this one. So this one follows Lola Rose, previously known as Janie. Janie is living with her brother Kenny and her mom, I think Nikki. Her mom's name isn't really that relevant. She lives with her mom and her dad and her brother Kenny. The dad is abusive, particularly towards the mom, but it all boils down to one day where he becomes physically abusive to the daughter too, and the mom decides to pack up the kids, move away and create a whole new life for herself, where Janie becomes Lola Rose. And oh my god, there were so many traumatic things in this, like more traumatic than normal Jacqueline Wilson books, and it was all jam-packed into this tiny thing. I will say, as a pre-disclosure, so we're dealing with obviously domestic abuse, as I said, but there is also quite a heavy amount of content in here about cancer, and that wasn't something I remembered, so it was way more moving than I originally thought it was going to be. So really glad I gave this one another go, and I think this might be my second favourite Jacqueline Wilson, so nothing's going to beat my sister Jodie. But this could be number 2. So the other book I currently have on the go is I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. This is the tandem read-along I'm currently participating in, and I started it yesterday reading the Buddy Read pages, which was only 42. So read that yesterday, and I've got a much bigger chunk to do today. I need to get up to page 120, so it's like 80 pages today. But I'll be cracking on with that as soon as I can. Not really liking this so far. It's very like TikTok girly aesthetic, and I feel like people might know what I mean by that, but just it doesn't feel well formed yet at this point. But saying that, I'm only 42 pages in, so we shall see what I think. But yeah, very TikTok girly-esque. Even the playlist, there's a playlist to go with this, which is Spotify like coded in the front. I have now deleted my Spotify membership, which I can talk about that. And yeah, just the songs aren't really my bag either. So we shall see. I still have high hopes. But yeah, I've cancelled my Spotify, and I got an email from them. Well, when you open the app, it said that they're going from $9.99 a month to $10.99 a month. And I thought, oh wow, no thank you. That's £1 jump for every member of Spotify. No. And then I got an email, and I thought, I was kind of considering thinking, oh well, maybe they're giving more to the artists, whatever. It did say that the jump was to fund interesting new developments, and I thought, cancel membership. The only thing I like about Spotify is Spotify Wrapped, and they did have an AI DJ, which I now can't find anymore, and I liked that. So yeah, I'm just not really that bothered. I think I'm gonna go for Apple Music, because you can get like 3 months free and then it's cheaper. I think I'm gonna go to the dark side of Apple Music. I'm gonna miss Spotify, but you've ruined it for me, Spotify, sorry. Saying that, that means I lose my playlist that Cole made me. No, I don't, because it all stays there. Yeah, it's gone, it's gone. Anyway, this has been an 8-minute update. I should probably go back to work. Hello, hello, it's Thursday afternoon. Sorry if I just really jolted the camera there. I thought I'd just come in and show you a couple things that I am hauling / have hauled very recently, and then give you a bit of a book update. But I think I just kind of want to finish the book before I give you an update, because I have feelings. Anyway, the first thing I need to show you is actually a product I was sent to show you guys, and that is Sejoy's water flosser. So this, I don't know how much of a coincidence it is, was offered to me the day that my vlog went live, complaining about the dentist, and them saying, like the dentist saying that I needed an £85 clean. Well, on the same day as that vlog went live, I was reached out to by this company to see if I'd like their product to try and to talk to you guys about. So this is not sponsored or anything, I literally have just been sent the product, and I won't lie, people in my Patreon got more excited about this than I did, because I don't really understand what I'm meant to do. But it has 5 cleaning modes, 8 replacement tips, a 360 degree, well I can't speak, rotating jet tip, cleans up to 90% of dental plaque apparently. So obviously I won't try it right this second. I don't know how much I'll be able to try it on camera. I don't think you guys want to see me cleaning my teeth, but let's at least get on in here. I do think for a dental product, it is a really nice colour. And it comes with a little bag. I feel like a dentist. I feel like I'm gonna become a dentist. just from this cleaner. We have some different nozzles, which I'm going to be at the mercy of the instructions because this means nothing to me, but I'm sure that's exciting. Are there even more in it? Oh my god. I'm gonna feel like a dentist. That one's got something on the end of it. That one's pointy. This one's got like a spoon on it. Very intrigued. See, I hope they noticed when they sent me this that I am quite clueless when it comes to this kind of thing. But I'm gonna do my best to show you. So this is what it looks like. Oh, that's the charging port. That is the charging port. It's got a little waterproof thing. That shouldn't have made me laugh as much as it is. That just took me by surprise. But yeah, I'm gonna get cracking with the instructions and figure this out at some point because I do think it sounds like a really fun product. I'm really glad they reached out to me and asked me to show you guys. But yeah, we have the water flosser. And then I have an order from Shein. So many people have corrected me telling me it's Shein, and then there is a tweet from Shein saying it's called Shein. So I will call it Shein now for the rest of my days. I basically saw one product be suggested to me over on Facebook and I had to have it, so that obviously caused a whole order. One bookish thing I got is one of those page holders, so I don't know if this will actually work. It wasn't as expensive as like wooden ones you can get that are all lovely handmade, but it is one of those like page, so you put your thumb in and hold the page open when you read so that you don't have to hold the whole book. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm intrigued by it, and it's pink, so clearly it's pink. This is the item I had to have, and I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fans here. Look at this. I will say the material is very scratchy, but it feels so warm and it's quite big. So this is gonna be really good when I need a bit of warmth from the Illinois winter. Clearly I'm not in Illinois now. Hopefully that didn't confuse any new viewers, but when I visit Cole, it's gonna be freezing. I then got this incredibly tiny top, but I really liked the design of it. So it's a crop top and it's got like a painting looking vibe. I don't know, I thought it was cute and I can make that work somehow. The rest isn't really fun. It's pajamas. I love a fresh set of pajamas. So then the other thing, which is either gonna be pure Bridgerton vibes and be really cute, or it's gonna look like I got it out my nan's cupboard. No offense, Nan, because I know that Evie might watch this. It's like a long, like a nightie, but the same kind of material, and I thought it was really cute. You know what, you could even layer this up and wear it as an outfit, like I'm sure you could. But yeah, gonna try like a nice feeling nightie. That's my weird haul. I can't be bothered to get the book, I've just sat down here. I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. So I am reading this for the tandem read along, rather not a readathon, a read along. And I actually might despise this book. So clearly I've been asked to take part to bring publicity to the book. So I'm not lying in my Instagram like stories that I'm doing for this book, but I'm not really hyping it up and I'm not being like, oh my god, I hate it. But in my wrap up, I am going to insert some of the clips from the reading sprints I did last night for patrons, which fully captures my feelings about this book so far. I really just don't think it's good. So I'm not going to say in any reviews that I think it's good, but I'm also not going to say it's terrible in written reviews. But you guys know, watching my vlog, that I do give full honest opinions, and for now, I don't like this book, and it might end up on my worst books of the year. So I'm going to try and finish that tonight and hopefully bring you a more updated opinion with a final thoughts. I'm just packing away all of the attachments. Yeah, hopefully I can bring you some final thoughts tonight. We shall see. I don't really have much more else to say. I need to relax because today at work was quite hard. I got asked a lot of questions I should have known the answer to, but I didn't quite, and it was quite embarrassing. So yeah, it's been a hard day. So tonight is, oh god, I can't relax. Well, I can relax, but it's the Vampire Diaries watch along in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I was supposed to go to the gym. Looks like I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Hello, hello. It is Saturday morning. It looks really early from how I'm like slightly dead, but it just took me about 1 hour to get out of bed. It's 9 o'clock. It's nearly 10 o'clock. Yes, I've changed my glasses back. I realise I haven't probably done a vlog clip with these glasses back on. I've been wearing my cheap, sent to me for free to like promote glasses for months. These are my designer, Coach, expensive, cost me loads of money, and I just don't really like how they look on my face, so I'm trying to get back into liking them. I'm more for like the chunky frames. These are a bit too thin, but we'll see. I think it makes my face look rounder. Anyway, the reason I'm here, first of all, I'm wearing the jumper. I wore the nightie last night, and oh my god, I don't care what it looks like. It's so soft, it's so comfortable. Massive like Bridgerton-esque vibes, I don't know why, but yeah, it's just so nice. The reason I'm actually here to talk to you is I finished 2 books yesterday. So one of which, fitting with the theme of the vlog, I read Candy Floss by Jacqueline Wilson. I listened to the entire audiobook yesterday. I realised that the ones I've been reading, I have just been listening to the audio, but it means that I can read while I work, and if that's helping me get through books that I loved as a child, then I'm okay with that. So I listened to this entire thing, and I see why I loved it as a kid, I really do. So this is about Floss, who she lives with her mom and her stepdad, and then she visits her dad every weekend. Her stepdad then gets a new job opportunity where he'd have to live in Australia for 6 months, and clearly the mom presumes that Floss will come with. She decides she doesn't really want to, and she wants to stay with her dad. Her dad, however, is more of a struggling position than her mom. He runs a little greasy spoon cafe that's not doing very well and lives above it, but it doesn't get communicated to Floss's mom how badly the greasy spoon cafe is going and what's going to happen with Floss's living arrangement for the next 6 months. So Floss does stay with her dad, and she's living on a diet of chip butties and candy floss from the fun fair. This was really like, the amount that they talked about chip butties, I had to pause and have my lunch break early and make myself a chip butty, like oven chips. I had a crusty baguette, weirdly high class chip butty, but I had to have one. If you are listening to this and you don't know what a chip butty is, it is literally chips in bread. Chip butty, like buttered bread chips, not crisps, chips. It's a good time. I've given this 3.5 stars, so it is good. It's one of the better Jacqueline Wilsons I've gone back and revisited, so really glad I gave it another go. I won't be reading it again. I feel like I've now had my moment of going back, and that's fine. I feel like there might have been some slight issues with communicating to children in this book. Like the choices Floss's parents make probably aren't the best for her, just objectively, so I wasn't a big fan of that. Like, are you telling me this like 8-year-old, 10-year-old, I don't know how old she is, wouldn't have had a better 6 months on the beaches of Australia? Like, she should have gone to Australia, but you know, what do I know? And if anyone thinks that an 8-year-old, 10-year-old can make her own decision on that, no. So I wasn't quite on board with that part of it, but there were some fun moments in here. There was quite a lot on dealing with bullies at school, and a really nice look at people who work on fun fairs. So I did like it, but I'm not going to reach for it again. So that is another Jacqueline Wilson done. And oh my god, guys, if I show you my wrap-up shelf, so what I do for the month, oh, that's Cole going to bed, he can wait 1 second and I'll have to come back after. What I do for the month is I put all the books I've read on a shelf. Fourth Wing is currently kind of wedged in there because it wouldn't fit on my main shelves, but the whole shelf is full. Like, look at all of these are red, so Candy Floss would ideally fit there, but Fourth Wing won't fit on my shelf, so it lives in this box. I'd say I've read a fair amount this month, all of like physical ones I already owned. So give me time to say goodnight to Cole, and then I will be talking to you about the literal trash fire that is I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. Okay, I'm back and look even more dishevelled because when I talk to Cole when he goes to bed, I get back in bed. So he went to bed like 10 minutes ago, and then I may have had a miniature nap, even though I just got up myself. So the morning phone calls on a weekend can be disastrous. This book. So I am having to be on Instagram right now quite conserved about my feelings for this book because I'm part of the tandem like media tour to help promote this book. But you guys know I'm always honest with my opinion. This is trash, like not even good trash. Den of Vipers, we all know is awful, but I love it. This just sucks. And I'm really sad about it because I had really high expectations. Monica Murphy wrote A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, which I haven't read yet. It's part of this series. They're kind of like companion novels, and it's really putting me off reading it because this was just pretty terrible. I don't know how much I've talked about it in this video already. We are following, what's her face? Carolina, who goes to the boarding school that her parents own, and also there is West Fontaine, who is the heir to a champagne company, and they definitely should not be together, in my humble opinion. And this whole book follows them making very poor choices about each other, not communicating, and the reason I don't understand this is it doesn't actually say on this bookmark, but I was enlisted to read this book because of long-term relationships. I don't believe that fits this at all. Yes, we have an epilogue like 2 years later or something, but I don't believe this fits. It's a book that happens over a long time, but is it a long-term relationship? No, it's not. I don't know, people class long-term relationships at different stages, I guess, but like, I would say me and Cole are in a long-term relationship. We've been together 3.5 years now, all of that long distance, albeit. But I would class that as pretty long-term. But yeah, I don't think this is long-term at all. So I didn't like it. I'm really glad though, because I know that A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime might not be my cup of tea now, where I was putting that one off and saving it for a rainy day. I might have to read it sooner rather than later to make sure whether I like it or not. There is smut in this. I would like to say the smut is good, but I can't. And also it doesn't fit their characters, like, at all. The characters kind of morph into their smut personas, and I don't really know how to explain that, apart from saying that when they first meet, Carolina is like aloof, not bothered, don't come near me, don't talk to me, I don't want to get to know you, like, I have the power. And West is following her around like a lost puppy. As soon as anything starts happening remotely sexual, he becomes like in charge, and then his character morphs into that, and I think that we lose Carolina, or Carolina, I don't even know. But yeah, I didn't like this. 1 star. Will be unhauling pretty much instantly. I need to take another photo of it to post on Instagram, which I don't really want to promote it, but hey ho, know what I signed up for, so I'll be promoting that with a negative but productively worded review. So my plan for the weekend is literally nothing. I'm doing late night reading sprints tonight, starting at 7 o'clock, going till at least 10, maybe 11, hopefully 11, maybe 12. We'll see how much I want to stay live, but yeah, late night reading sprints. Books though, to actually fit the prompt that I got at the start of this reading vlog, I do need to read The Princess and the Fangirl, because it was to read The Princess and the Fangirl plus Jacqueline Wilson. So I have The Princess and the Fangirl, and I also have Girls in Tears. I think I might interchangeably read them. I don't know. I'm sure this audiobook exists because I seem to have listened to them all via audio, but I do want to read this one physically. But yeah, this is only about 330 pages, and this is a little book at just over 225. So both of them can definitely get read this weekend, and I keep forgetting that August doesn't start until Tuesday, so Monday is still July, and I still have this one on my TBR. So if I finish these, I won't be picking up any more Jacqueline Wilson. I've definitely overdone it on the JW this week, but which one I'll start with, I'm not sure. I think I might edit a vlog to get myself in like a booktubey mood before I start reading anything. That might be a good idea. And also I was sharing my potential gaming video idea with Cole, and he thinks it's an absolutely hilarious idea because I won't be able to do it. What I'm really thinking about doing is doing a full playthrough of Layers of Fear, not the new one, the original one, so it was like 2016. I played it back then with a group of friends, and it was me and 6 guys screaming like little girls when things happened and just throwing the controller around the room like, it's your turn, it's your turn. So I genuinely think me sitting in my apartment playing this game will terrify me. And that's either going to be really awful viewing or really hilarious viewing. So if you have an opinion on that as an idea, would you watch that? I would probably break it down into like mini episodes, maybe an hour and a half each. I don't know, I feel like that would appeal to some people, but definitely not to others. If you want to watch me screaming like a little baby, it could be kind of fun. But yeah, so I've been thinking about that. Not that I'm saying I'll start that this weekend, but it could be an idea. I think I'd probably release 1 episode, see how that did, and then consider doing the rest. I'm not sure. I also have my Patreon announcement for the Vampire Diaries readathon today at 3, so that video is going to go up through Patreon. So I'm really excited to show them what I've got planned before the public reveal a week today. So it's very exciting. Okay, so I just came in my bathroom to try this out. Realised that the lighting is dreadful. I have one functioning light and they're like in the ceiling. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try and give this a go and give you a review, I guess. I need to read the instructions. That's what I need to do. Choose a suitable gear. Put the nozzle in the mouth, aiming at the teeth. That's what I just did and it just hurt me. I don't understand. Like how does that aim down there? I'm drenched. Guys, particularly Amelia, it is Saturday night, so you know what that means. 1 chips. Looks like we've got 4 fortunes. A beef in Kung Pao sauce. And this is a Shanghai special fried rice with duck and prawns. So probably a more conservative amount of food this week, but that's a big rice. Oh wait, I didn't do the fortune, so I've got to do the red one because there were 3 blue ones, 1 red one. Here we go. Oh, it's kind of open. It's not going to snap. There's nothing to snap. Set the right example. It will inspire others. Word of the cookie. It's not picking up, but it's beef. Hello, hello. So it is Sunday and I've just got out the shower. It's like Sunday afternoon. I was having a really chill day. Literally had like my towel wrapped around my head as the Amazon man turned up, and this feels, I don't know what this feels like. This potentially feels like 2 books, and I know that Sophie said she was sending me something today because she's just adorable, so I guess this is my present from Sophie. I'm like really overwhelmed. So I did the reveal to patrons for the Vampire Diaries readathon yesterday and it went so well. There are so many people excited. So I'm just feeling all the love right now. And then when Sophie said there was something coming my way, like, can we not be this cute? Oh, okay. We have, the first thing in here is Hunted by PC and Kristen Cast, which is book, I don't know what number. This is book 5 in the Marked series, so I think it is the next one I needed, but they all kind of blur together. But this one is absolutely, like, I love the purple. The purple is gorgeous. Oh my god, stop. I mean, I was wrong, because we now have Tempted and Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast. Okay, so it goes Hunted, but oh, that's Burned. Tempted and Burned. Oh my, what order does this go in? Betrayed is like number 3. What's Burned? I got overwhelmed. Untamed is the last one I have on my shelves. Then it's Hunted, then Tempted, then Burned. Oh my god. Sophie, you're an absolute gem. First of all, look how great these look together. Why on earth have you got me 3 books? Okay, so I found the gift note. Recently joined your Patreon, and when I found these books on your wish list, I just had to send them your way. I love these books back in my teens and hope you will too. Sophie, this is such like an extravagant gift. Thank you so much. I really don't know what to say. Like, I genuinely do not know what to say. Thank you. Hello, hello. What a day it ended up being. So I thought I was gonna have so much chill time today. I instead decided to reorganize my living room. So my desk is now over here next to my sofa, which means behind my desk, please ignore any mess you can see, I've not done yet. My desk looks back at my bookshelves rather than you seeing the tapestry like you normally do on reading sprints. So that wasn't the main reason to do it. The main reason to do it is I don't like having my back to that doorway because that hallway has no latch. I can't speak. That hallway has no light, like natural light without the light on. So it gets really dark and I didn't like having my back to it. That is genuinely the sole reason for this move. And it also means that my TBR shelves are like hidden down here, which obviously most of my bookshelves are my TBR, but my immediate TBR is hidden down there and I'm kind of a fan of that. And my book haul for the month is hidden in the corner, and what I've read this month is hidden in the corner. It feels like less overwhelming, I don't know. But speaking of less overwhelming, I have made my TBR significantly less overwhelming because I have finished 2 books today. Wait, no, I finished this last night. Have I already told you about this? If I haven't told you, no I haven't, all I've done today is open the gift. So, Princess and the Fangirl, I finished it last night and I'm sad to say I gave it 2.5 stars. which I have different reasons for it, but 2.5 means it rounds up to 3. I could give it 2 because I wanted to DNF it like most of the way through, and I came out at the end thinking, yeah, what was the point of me reading this? But if I give it a 2.5, it rounds up to 3. I do think that this book could be really great for some people, but I understand this is the Once Upon a Con series, so it's all about a convention setting, and the main character is one of the lead actresses in Starfield, which, I mean, I always just read it in my head as Star Wars, but like, I know it's not, but still. So it's what it says, a modern fairy tale for those who believe in the magic of fandom. And I have read Geekerella and I loved it, and I really can't wait to read, what is it called? Bookish and the Beast? Bookish and the Beast, yeah. I really cannot wait to read that one. I loved Geekerella, I gave that 4.5 stars. But this one dominated more on the convention, and they didn't really seem to have that much of a personality outside of that, which sounds kind of harsh, but that's how I felt. So I wasn't the biggest fan, and yeah, sadly we'll be unhauling this one, but that is another book read this month. And then today I've read Girls in Tears by Jacqueline Wilson, which means I have finally, one, finished the TBR for this week, set to me by the reading prompt, but also finally finished the Girls series. So in this one, we're again, of course, following Ellie, Magda, and Nadine. And this one is probably the strangest one in terms of my common fault for all of these books is I cannot work out how old you are supposed to be when you read them. It's emphasized many times throughout this book that Ellie is 13, and the main themes of this book are being pressured to have sex by older boys, going to parties, drinking vodka so much that you pass out. I don't know what we're teaching teenagers anymore, but I know that if I would have read this at 13 and my mom would have found out that was the contents of this book, which I probably did read it at 12, 13, she wouldn't have been best impressed. I feel like a lot of it is good messages, but I just don't know whether it's done the best. In this one, Ellie keeps telling us she's 13. She also keeps telling us about all these pressures she's having from Russell, but also she's entering competitions for children's book illustrations where she's drawing little characters and giving them names. And then she also says that boys are really childish, and it's a weird age rating. So I gave this one a 3. Solid story, kind of like the rest of them really. I know why I liked it as a teenager, but would I recommend it? I'm not sure. Now I feel like this is too harsh, but I didn't want to DNF this at any point. I wanted to DNF this maybe twice while I was reading it, so I feel like it's fair. So, rest of the evening, I really do want to start trying to at least figure out my setup for Layers of Fear and how I'm going to do it. But also, I only have one book left on my TBR. I say only, tomorrow is the 31st of July. But I have no plans tomorrow apart from going to the gym and then reading. So I feel like I don't need to start this today, but if I am fancying reading, I'm going to start this one this evening, but maybe not. And yeah, I had Chinese leftovers for lunch, so I guess I'm having them again for dinner. That's pretty much all that's going on here. I will try my best to update you once more before bed. How annoying of me. I don't think I wrapped up this vlog. I don't even know what happened at the end of last week. I will say one thing I need to do is actually research how to use that water flosser, because I think I'm going to include the clip of me literally just spraying myself in the eye. It's not a good look. I presume this product works perfectly. I just don't know how to do it. So the only review I would give is that it needs more instructions rather than use, like, how. Maybe you're supposed to know how before you get one. I don't know, but I was confused. So it turns out the last book I actually finished in this vlog was The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. And I'm gonna really hope that I told you about it. I'm sure I did, I'm sure I did. But for this reason, if you got to this point in the vlog, please leave me a princess emoji so that I know. I always love it when you guys get here. Although this wasn't my favorite book ever, I am glad I carried on with this series. So I think that's a good one to finish off the vlog with. But really, because I don't know if I wrapped it up or what I said or whatever, I don't have anything else to add apart from please come back next week for hopefully a better vlog where I actually know what I'm talking about. No, I'm kidding. I obviously know what I'm talking about when I'm talking. I just haven't made a note as to whether I actually finished this vlog. And I am finding that's the only issue with delaying my editing. So right now I'm really loving delaying my editing because it means that I actually can breathe, which sounds really dumb. But what I was doing was finishing the content on a Sunday night, sometimes Monday morning, editing Monday evening to have it up by Tuesday morning, and it's just not a good place to be. It's not that I hated doing the editing, and it was just, it made it a chore, not a fun thing to do. So now this footage will sit for a week while I find time to edit it, but I'm in no rush, and that feels like a really good place to be. I'm gonna stop nattering. Princess emojis, if you please. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I will see you in my next one. Bye.